While he was contemplating, next to him appeared a demon. His eyes stared at the 10-year-old. This boy is bizarre. He's clearly good and evil. Your precious face is nothing. But I smell a smell of unhappiness. It's no use to him. It wasn't stolen by that AI a while ago. These one-eyed worms are 5 demons. To take the fortunes of the good and the evil. Unhappy to make food. Right then the ground under 10 benevolent feet. Then something broke through. It quickly passes by your side. And then straight at the foot of the apparatus. After a while, a monster rises from the ground. It's carrying demons. Every place it's ever been will leave a trail of mud. The mud will be immobilized in place. I saw these demons appear. Talk to 10 good people. The master is here. There will be no danger here for the time being. I will go ahead as long as it is revealed. 10 good to hear that agree immediately. Evil Lie then quickly recovered the prime minister. Then returned the body for 10 good. It's not far away. There's another demon coming. He's running among the trees and singing his head out loud. The rain doesn't worry. Even though I have a big head, his name is Big Head. Peaceful unhappiness. There's another kind of demon in my head that's parasitic. On his head is a long-haired devil. I like to hurt people, but my ability is not strong. All magic power is in the hair, extremely afraid of fire. Where does the devil run? Devil long hair. He stretched out his hair and tied up the trees. You can see it in the distance suddenly. This is all because of the devil. It just finished. There's another demon coming up. He looked at 10 good people and said, Ra is you. The person the owner wants to find. This demon is lost. Harmless to people who like to eat insects. When you see it, you scream. Why is this guy so big? If you don't notice them, open your mouth immediately. There's another demon coming out of his mouth. This demon is a demon, also known as the devil. It can give birth to demons, especially when it comes from the devil's belly. It immediately had countless demons coming out. They just came out, and the evil god came down. Each is different. Jump up on a tree man slay. 10 good people see that, they are not afraid. These dry tree monsters are easy to deal with SAO. Right now, behind you, the 2 knelt and the capital also came. The devil answered. It's not like that. These alien beings are actually very powerful. I just have no experience fighting demons. That's why I quickly solved it like that. 10 goodness turned his head and was astonished, gaping out of his mouth. You haven't left Henan yet. Why is it here now? The wind and the wind suddenly responded. Bad boy, if anything happens, of course, we have to go back. I can see these 2 are boring. Speak up again. Okay, the old story is here. We deal with the trouble in front of us. When he finished, he began to recite the poem. After a while, his stomach swelled up. And then spit out another demon. This demon is a lone demon king. It also comes from the devil. It's you, the only demon in the stomach. I quickly watched him brush his beard. Go find the source of their growth. The demon king nodded his head. Then quickly head for the big one in front of you. It comes out every step. The body also changes. It's time to get in front of the big guy. His body is already as big as the big one. Both of his eyes immediately had a great aurora. Here's his trick. The spirit of the eye. Very quickly, the little tree man inside the tree trunk. He was seen by it. The tree also knows that it is exposed. Immediately sneak out from behind the tree trunk. She wants to run away. The tree wants to run. Kneeling in the back immediately shouted. Don't let it run away, the Demon King nodded. Next for hands quickly clasp. When you develop a magical sense of oneness, and immediately there was some light coming out of him. The direction of the beater. The tree is plugged in and running away. I can feel it too. He just turned his head and looked. There's a light in there. Cut in half. They hit it immediately. It's a dry branch of a tree. Move the scene to the other side. Tran hung and the tree now. It's also using very fast speeds towards Tai En. Just moved. He asked the tree next to him. 6 people are paying attention to that tree. The tree quickly responded, because it's a living thing after it loses its owner. Then after about a day from dawn to dusk, it will slowly wake up. After he woke up to the second sunset, it will slowly activate and have a certain capacity to act. Waiting for the third sunset, it's going to start splitting at the same time. I saw him stop and ask him at the same time. The tree man replied, it's individual. Will actively attack everything that lives around. To be honest, an existence that has the potential to increase infinitely. I have a great deal of hatred for the world. It's dangerous. It's even more than white sand that you've encountered before. When Tran Hung heard it, he was horrified. Wait for such a dangerous thing. 6 Why give it to me? If you lose control, why? The tree calmly replied. Because 6 degrees. I haven't been able to destroy the tree yet. There's a mutation in Henan. Has seriously undermined the power of the 6. Lord, he can only find a suitable master to look after it. But martial artists in Hanam because of the evil here. I don't feel safe every day. Master has been waiting for many years. Waiting for someone with destiny. If you can stop that tree, that's you. Tran Hung asked after listening. So what's that branch like now? Has it ever left the Tai'an district? The tree calculated for a moment and then replied. From the moment your heart stops beating, it's now. Maybe they've split up into individuals. He is capable of fighting at level B. Whether or not he left the Tai'an district. Haha, in front of him. It's the best place to hide. Before accumulating enough troops, it's not going to leave. Move the scene to the Tai side. After the tree man was singled out by the Demon King. Current picture, the devil and 2 good people. Quickly run to see. The middle demon picked up the tree branch and looked at it and said, Rah, it's the kind of freakish thing about this whole yard. And the source is on top of a small branch like this. Why does this thing have a background? 10 good people are now coming to the capital. Only the devil asked him. This bearded Han Chinese capital is AI. The wind replied. He is the devil. He's the founder of the demon sect in this world. From a certain point of view, it's my old friend. 10 good people listen to that, but they don't believe it. You have friends in this world too. I am extremely confident that I can't have it. To the same level of life as heaven and earth as we are now. In the long, long stream of time, I met someone just like me. It's no wonder. While they were talking, the devil turned his head to them. I want to go to the deepest part of this cave. See if you want to come along. The capital nodded. Of course, I'm leaving. Then he looked at the 10 good ones. You 2 follow. It is time for you to understand the world. People then very quickly go to the deepest part of the garden. This is also the place where I played for the first time. Together with carpentry, people go straight inside. To place the statue of the evil one, he looked at the monster in front of him and asked. You can recognize this statue. Is corresponding to any Buddha deity or not? The city is a little uncertain. If not out of the box, Maybe it's Hui and Jan. The devil was surprised to hear that. He is not the god himself. Why lower yourself to do this evil? Fang Du laugh, haha. You've lived in the world for a long time, so you don't know. The world of the present. I can't separate evil anymore. The devil heard that and glanced at it. His face became even more curious. Double-wind quick answer. Before we kill all the intruders. Heaven and the world ecstasy. Implicit allowed. The losers. Restored to strength quickly. In the celestial world. Then back to the battlefield of heaven. The devil asked after listening. So this world. Become a place where the Buddha replenishes Sao karma. The capital nodded. That's right, at the same time on the right side. The war here is still going on. It's intense. Wind station looking at the enemy. That weasel's magical aesthetic carved me. No, it just depends on the characteristics. The combination of 7 swords in the casket. I was sure. For the most part, you can defeat the Buddha like this. But there's more of it. The situation is not at all possible. While he was contemplating, then the ghost suddenly spoke. Let's negotiate a little. The wind sounds amazing. On my face full of question marks. That the ceremony quickly explained. For some reason. Leading to the body of the deity in the Kier world. Seriously damaged. Now we need to add karma. But God has no enemies with you. And the reign of this world. As long as you provide karmic force. In a city area for our use. After the karmic replenishment is completed, the Buddha will leave. Change it before leaving. The Lord will reward you in a worthy way. The wind station without hesitation replied, I refused. But the ceremony said, if you don't believe in God, then God can take an oath. Angry wind screams. Don't have too many words, people. I can be a living sacrifice to the ungodly. Like you want to take away the power. The cause of this unbridled cynicism. You have to go through my body first. That the celebration of the small eyes look at the enemy. Because of the world, there are people who don't know the world like you. The battlefield of heaven is so corrupt. He just finished. The sound of the Amitabha Buddha again echoed. Flowers will be around. It also uses an extremely fast growth rate. This is the magic of self-corruption in the magic of the background. The wind station saw the enemy perform magic. He immediately reminded the disciples behind him. Everybody be a little careful. God is like this. It can pollute the things around it. I don't want to be an idiot who only knows how to sing. Then worry about dodging his black mud. That the reception continues to open its mouth wide alley and go. Tung thong te, according to his voice. Black mud under feet, he quickly directed the swordsman. People who see that quickly move back. At this point, the magic also disappeared. When he came back, he suddenly stood in front of him. Face station Feng. Not waiting for the wind station to react. He used the fabric behind his back. Tightly wrapped around the enemy's neck. I saw the remaining long sword disciples want to rush to the rescue. That the ceremony immediately ordered the death of Kim Hoa Tiger on the shoulder. Rush to attack. Lake sculpture immediately implement Ra Love France Welcome Bok Dai. His eyes are blue. It is also covered with a blue light. The body then turns into a giant. It's the same as the Buddha before. Just turned body, he screamed and attacked the rest of them. That the ceremony hands out in front of the wind. The power of karma begins with you. Very fast. The force on the wind station was attracted by it. The wind station in my head is calling, Mother of the Sword. Follow his call. The swordsmanship is stuck on the crumbling wall behind. There is movement. Next, immediately directly behind the back of the pierced magic. He's happily absorbing karma. Not paying attention to the back. Not in time to dodge. There were countless swords on him. The wind station is also out of control at this time. She was stabbed in the back, angry, staring at the wind station without a word. He looked at the enemy a little ridiculously. No matter how sure you are of winning, you should also pay attention to the back. That's the arrogant Buddha. How long does it take? The wind station suddenly looked down. Foot ghost ceremony. Now the black mud appears again. It's moving towards him. The wind station without hesitation jumped out after dodging. With that, he quickly called Ra Quan Sun Sword. From the sword box behind Ra. Attack on the enemy. Move the scene to the Tai and Fong capital. I'm still looking at the devil. Explain to the middle kneel. These things have their eyes on the world. But the battle of heaven is hasty. Gods and Buddhas. We can't separate power. To make a line here. If the gods are like that, taking out too much karmic cause and effect, drain the power of the human kingdom. Wait until these things come to this world. We can't resist at all. When the devil finished listening, he thought for a moment. Then I looked at the map. So go. We're going to meet the leader of the Kier Buddha. Talk to him a little. If he does. So use a little trick. The stronger AI's fist. Listen to that person. Then he glanced. 10 good guys want to come with us. 10 seriously good shakes head. I refuse. I have something else to do. The devil asked me to find you. 10 good people hear that, then excite screaming. Why do you know? The man saw you excited and spoke up. When we were looking for you, I accidentally found out about you. Don't worry, she's completely safe now. Next time, there will be no danger. 10 positive face down. Some time to wait for the stone you mean, Sao. After that time, she'll be in danger. The two knelt and quickly glanced at each other. Use your eyes to exchange. After a moment, he knelt and opened his mouth. Let me explain to you. Then slowly say out everything. Your sister's money. He is a great figure in the world. This kind of high-level existence. After the first pregnancy, it takes 3 lives. Now she's been through 2 lives. The third life can happen when she's a teenager. The Lord will speak again when the third time comes. It's not just her. That everyone who's ever been in contact with her. They all have to be together. Those who pass live. If not, you will die. You are lucky to get out of the center of that tornado. Don't rush back. At your current level. Don't say there are losers in hell helping. Even if there are 2 more of us. I can't stand the hidden death in my life. After 10 minutes of listening, open your mouth and still want to say something, but was cut off by the quick-witted general. The mood to find you. Come back from the people understand. But if you're with her, your airflow will just keep getting sucked up by her. When the great life comes, not only does it not help, on the contrary, it has to do with that girl. If you want to save her, so make an effort to become stronger. It is so strong that even 1,000 lives of Leo himself will not fail. 10 when they heard him, they bowed their heads. After a moment, he looked up at the devil. I come with you. The devil nodded when he heard that. So wait a minute, we're going to pick up the remains of your master. Then go to the leader of the Buddha like gods. After a moment, the body of Tran hung. He was buried in the temple. 2 simple rods were planted on the roof of the grave. Look at the 10 good sad moody 7 gods standing there. All on their knees spoke. Let's go. 10 when they heard him call, they nodded. The 2 immediately disappeared on the spot. Leave this place. Until midnight. Tran hung with the new tree chased here. When I saw my grave here, I had a feeling. No words spoken. He looked around for a moment and then said, "Is that the passerby noticed the anomaly here? So it's easy to handle these individuals. That person has really helped us a lot." After a search party, it also found the Kier branch. He immediately excitedly called Tran Hung. "Over here, we found that branch. It was cut in half. It's in a state of fake death. Time to come. We may not have to worry about the problem. It's reactivated." Chen Hung heard that and reluctantly pressed out a smile. Then the work. Ours is also much softer. The tree man saw that his expression was a little wrong. "I asked why I felt your state." "It's a little bad." Tran Hung sighed a little. "It's not just seeing your grave. So it's just a feeling." The tree heard this and comforted. "Getting used to it will be better. This religion is like that. The line between the living and the dead. It's becoming more and more vague. Thai monster, based on some trick. Come back like you and me. It's getting more and more. Keep it that way, maybe one day. The dead in this world. More than the living." Tran Hung is impressed by that. That's a scary future. "I'm not saying this anymore. I found the tree. Let's go back to the handover. Do you have anything to deal with? If not, let's go back to the mountain." Chen Hung heard it and then remembered it. "We still have a little work to do. We have to go on a trip. There's also an unresolved cause and effect." The tree nodded. "Then I can go with you." The view to the Kizu kingdom. After hearing the king speak, I was surprised to ask again. "Fan Shou and Kai Shou, a large number of people are missing." The king nodded. "That's right, combined with the intelligence that the 6 states sent earlier. We have a guess. The mastermind of the rebellion in Henan was probably deliberately arranged the altar of evil gods in Shinju. Fan Shou and Kai Shou. This is Ba, where there's mixed martial arts. The strongest defense in Henan. When encountering demons that can't be identified, they usually choose to investigate themselves, without reporting it up, waiting for help from elsewhere. This gave the mastermind behind the curtain. There is time to react. There are more gods. Following the unorthodox way of sacrifice will quickly form a disaster-level strategy. Whether the martial arts leader of Ba County, when the investigation finds the situation is not right, it is also difficult to break the siege of the 2 masters. The purpose of the person behind the scenes is to wear down the defensive forces in Henan. Of the great tons, the 2 of them looked at each other when they were finished. Quiet without speaking. At the same time on the side, keep the disciples for a long time. It's being run by a tiger right now. One in which tension screams. Don't let the fur of this animal be too thick. Our swords are absolutely impossible to strike. I know, but can you do it? Right now in the air, a sword suddenly appeared. It's flying at incredible speed, straight to the top of the lake. The tiger's eyes widened and looked up. Not enough time to react. Was struck by the Kwang Kier sword. Put your head on the ground. See people coming. The sword disciples breathed out for a long time. Master is not far away. The priest was fed onions by the leprosy station and was angry, endlessly screaming. Can't forgive, can't forgive. After a while, the swordsmanship on his back slowly melted away. The wind doesn't pay attention to him either. Slowly lower down in front of the tiger. I saw him standing in front of me. The tiger immediately bared its teeth raw, was constantly growling. The wind looked at him casually. Seal your magic first. When he finished, he quickly pressed